Intelligence is often seen as the ultimate tool for navigating life, an asset that promises better decisions, smoother outcomes, and an easier path. But what if I told you that the very thing most people consider your greatest strength could actually be the source of profound struggle? High intelligence doesn't automatically make life easier. In fact, it often makes everything more complicated. The truth is, intelligence changes the shape of your struggles. It doesn't remove them. It makes them harder to understand, harder to explain, and sometimes even harder to bear. If you've ever felt like your mind is both your greatest gift and your greatest burden, you are not alone. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology behind the struggles of being overly intelligent, uncovering the hidden complexities of a mind that never stops processing, analyzing, and questioning. The first struggle that often plagues intelligent individuals is the inability to slow down. Your mind, wired for constant processing, is always in motion, replaying conversations, rethinking decisions, and analyzing every situation long after it's passed. It's not anxiety, it's cognitive depth. While others can switch off after a conversation ends, your brain is still dissecting every word, every nuance, and every emotion involved. This relentless activity creates exhaustion, robbing you of rest and leaving you emotionally and mentally drained. The inability to shut off can also lead to disrupted sleep patterns, as your brain doesn't know how to relax. You're not weak, your mind just works overtime, and without the right tools to manage it, this can turn into a cycle of burnout. Second, boredom hits you faster than it does most people. Highly intelligent minds process information quickly, and when things come too easily, your brain stops releasing the necessary stimulation chemicals like dopamine. Everyday tasks, repetitive conversations, and predictable routines feel mentally painful. You lose interest in them almost immediately, disengaging without meaning to. This can be misunderstood by others as laziness or lack of discipline, but it's simply that your brain requires complexity, challenge, and novelty to stay engaged. Without it, motivation disappears, and you feel restless and disconnected, even when everything seems fine on the surface. Third, intelligence can make you feel isolated, even in social settings. Intelligent individuals often think and communicate differently, and when you're surrounded by people who don't share your cognitive depth, loneliness creeps in. It's not that you dislike people, it's that you can't find meaningful connections. You crave deep, thought-provoking conversations, not small talk or surface-level interactions. And when those connections are missing, you feel emotionally alone. You may find yourself in a room full of people, but still feel like no one truly understands you. This is not a social isolation. It's a cognitive isolation that only others with a similar mindset can truly understand. The fourth struggle of being highly intelligent is the constant questioning of rules and authority. Intelligence fosters independent thinking, and intelligent minds are naturally inclined to question the systems, traditions, and authority figures that others blindly follow. This desire to understand the why behind every rule can create conflict in environments that reward obedience over critical thinking. Whether in school, the workplace, or social systems, intelligent individuals often feel restricted by systems that discourage questioning. You become frustrated by the lack of intellectual freedom, and at times feel like a misfit in rigid structures that prioritize conformity over creativity and innovation. Fifth, highly intelligent individuals experience stress on a deeper level. Your heightened awareness allows you to see patterns, risks, and consequences that others often overlook. This ability to process the world more fully means you think about the future, about long-term consequences, about the broader picture, sometimes to a degree that leads to chronic stress and existential anxiety. Your mind is constantly thinking about global issues, personal responsibility, and the meaning of life. And while this depth can be enlightening, it can also be mentally overwhelming if not kept in check. You're not imagining problems that don't exist. You're simply processing the complexities of life more fully than most. The sixth struggle that comes with high intelligence is perfectionism. Intelligent individuals have the ability to clearly imagine ideal outcomes, and because of this, they set extremely high internal standards for themselves. You instantly notice flaws, and anything less than perfect feels unacceptable. This drive for perfection can lead to procrastination, as you delay taking action out of fear that you won't be able to execute things perfectly. This is not arrogance, it's clarity. You can see what's possible, and when things fall short, it doesn't sit well with you. This can also lead to frustration and self-criticism when your high expectations aren't met, leaving you feeling stuck or inadequate despite your talents. The seventh struggle is that you often feel misunderstood when you speak. Complex thinking makes communication difficult for intelligent people. You think faster and in more layers than most conversations allow, and your ideas often feel too intricate to explain concisely. This can lead to frustration, as your points get oversimplified, misinterpreted, or ignored. Over time, you learn that explaining yourself is draining, and you may retreat into silence rather than explain your thoughts to others. It's not that you lack confidence, it's that you've learned that being understood is often more exhausting than it's worth. Eighth, intelligent individuals tend to intellectualize their emotions rather than expressing them. This is known as cognitive distancing, a defense mechanism that helps you manage overwhelming feelings by analyzing them rather than feeling them. While this protects you from emotional chaos, it can also block emotional intimacy. Your loved ones might feel like you're emotionally distant or unengaged, even when you care deeply. You understand emotions logically, but when it comes to expressing them, there's a disconnect, leaving you feeling emotionally isolated, even in close relationships. Ninth, being highly intelligent often makes you incredibly hard on yourself. You're fully aware of your strengths, weaknesses, and potential, which makes you a constant self-evaluator. You don't compare yourself to others, you compare yourself to an ideal version of yourself that you believe you should be. This constant self-criticism and internal pressure can lead to feelings of inadequacy, even if others view you as successful. Without self-compassion, this awareness turns into a harsh internal judge, leaving you feeling constantly dissatisfied and like you're never good enough. 10th, intelligent individuals often struggle to feel fully satisfied. Your mind is forward-focused, always striving for the next goal. Once you achieve one thing, your mind quickly shifts to the next, never pausing to enjoy the success you've already achieved. This drive for continuous improvement can rob you of simple happiness, as your mind rarely lingers in the present moment. You may never fully savor your accomplishments because you're already thinking about what's next, leaving you feeling unsatisfied despite your achievements. 11th, taking advice from others can feel challenging for intelligent individuals. Because your mind is constantly analyzing everything, you don't accept advice at face value. You need to test it, analyze it, and compare it to your own conclusions before you can take it in. This can make advice feel unnecessary or even frustrating, as you constantly evaluate its validity. While this is not a sign of superiority, it can create tension with others who feel like their guidance is being dismissed, even when you respect them. Finally, the 12th struggle is feeling out of place in traditional life paths. Highly intelligent individuals often don't fit into the conventional milestones society sets. Careers, relationships, and timelines that others follow can feel restrictive or meaningless to you. You question the value of standard goals and resist paths that don't intellectually stimulate you. This creates an internal conflict as you navigate life without a clear script, feeling pressure to conform while knowing that traditional paths won't bring you true fulfillment. If you recognize yourself in any of these struggles, understand this. They are not flaws. They are the cost of depth. Intelligence doesn't just sharpen your mind, it intensifies your awareness, your emotions, and your sense of responsibility. But with this understanding comes the power to navigate your life with a sense of purpose. If this resonates with you, if you've ever felt like your mind works differently and you want to understand yourself better, then you are in the right place. Subscribe to The Known Sense, where we go deeper than surface-level advice and dive into real psychology that helps you understand yourself, your mind, and your life's journey.